we are YouTubing. We haven't done any YouTubing for a while. So now we are back and we are YouTubing again. It's good to see you all. It's going to be an interesting night, to say the least. So I want to start on one positive note. When the kids are doing CX, and for those of us who have children doing CXC, you should pay attention to some things. And I know why I'm saying this. You should pay attention to some things because the children are not entirely, in them space. So you have to pay attention to something. Find out, see what kind of strange thing them doing. If them doing any strange things like washing the plate and them eat out of, or doing something like sweep up the yard and something they never normally do. So you need to pay attention to them. Thank you so much for joining me all. We're going to see if we can get through this as much things as we possibly can regarding Mr. Mark Jefferson Golden and his the fiasco that we are in now because of this untidy situation that he has created. And we want to start by saying that the Rise camp, the Rise empire, is tumbling down. It's falling apart. And they are all doing exactly as we knew that they would. Them lining up behind them Rise boss, and then prepare ledge with him, run over that cliff with him, and also some of them is going to try to catch him, just in case him decide to jump, because I believe that as of now, Mark Jefferson Golden is on suicide watch. That's what I think. And he's on some kind of suicide watch. And I don't say that lightly because suicide is a serious thing. But suicide is an act that it's an act that seems like a reasonable thing to someone who is mentally unstable and who decide that they're just going to jump. So it seems reasonable because the pressure is too much and them decide to jump. So I don't know. Maybe Mark Golden might reach that stage, but him seem a little on edge. So anything can happen now. But I want to address two things before we get into the live itself and talking about what we want to talk about. And the two things are two videos that came out and somebody sent them to me for me to look at them. One is with the pedophile talking about the law and the legal. Him is a pseudo lawyer, so him come and do a video looking just as he normally look, trying to have a clean suit and clean shirt, and look like him buy a new suit, and him look like him straightening up him face and toning down a little bit. I don't know, still look like a pedophile. But him come on and talking about legality and the law and all of that. And the other video was put out by the young lady with the body, the breast, the bottom, bunting side chick. She did another one. And Mr. Cam was talking about what is legal and what is not. And she was accusing Darrell Vaz of invading Mark Golden's privacy. So let me address the two of them quickly and just get them out of the way quickly. Let me talk to the pedophile first. This, my dear sir, is not about law. It's not about law. It's legal. It's not about what right Mark Golden has. This way past that. But you're not always very slow. Because for 3 years, we kind of help you to prepare you for this moment. And it's like you weren't listening. So go sit on one side. Go sit on one side. But the people in the East and West and keep walking out and you in meetings. Go find something to do. Go find something to do and stop. Come out, come talk things we don't know nothing about. Because this is not about law, not legal. And what is Mark Golden's right. Now today, the side chick. with the bought bottom and the bought breasts and the bought every damn thing, accusing Mr. Vaz of invading the privacy of Mr. Golden by talking about some things that should be private. I would very much like to tell you, madam, that in situations like these, nothing is private anymore. You know who did that? Your boss, Mark Jefferson. Nothing is private, nothing is personal. We're way past that. And I don't want to go through the we told you so thing, because everything that we have been telling you so far up to now is now in its final stages, and the end is near. The final curtain is being sewn. So the end is almost here. So hold on to the horses. I want to start by using the word corruption. It is an overused word, particularly in politics, and the last couple of, for the last year or so, it has been a word that has been thrown around in every damn thing is corruption. Everything. And it appears to me that some well-meaning and well-thinking people doesn't get or understand what exactly is corruption, or they have narrowed their minds to a particular brand of corruption, and therefore corruption is people who have thief money, people who have things and nobody don't know where them get it from, things who have land and about them thief people land, or them people who are in government and set up companies and them make money from the government that they lead. And that is everybody's argument about the whole corruption thing in Jamaica. I would like, however, to take the opportunity as a very well-read woman to explain to all of you briefly before we start, the main thing about what corruption actually signifies. Corruption, like murder, like any legal matter, any crime, corruption is intent. And I'm going to broaden your horizons, and there's a reason I'm doing this, for when we get down further so you can understand why I had to go through this with you. Former British Prime Minister Cameron, don't remember his first name, is it James? No, James Cameron is a movie director. No, it couldn't be James. James Cameron directed Titanic and all them great movies. So it's not James, I don't remember what his name. But Cameron, the former Prime Minister of Britain, his name was mentioned in the Panama Papers because it is said that there was some kind of tax scheme that his family businesses were involved in. Now, his family business utilized a tax law in Britain to make a lot of money. Question is, did Mr. Cameron institute that law in order to benefit his families? Did he say to them, there is this law, we'll go and make some more money from it? Intent. It's all about intent. Then I want to draw your attention to the most corrupt president ever in the history of the United States. The one before number 45. Richard Milhous Nixon. Now, Richard Nixon resigned in a cloud of suspicions and accusations because they said that he was corrupt. But what was Nixon corrupt about? Because he never stole any money. He never get no kickback from no contractors. He never send nobody go raid nowhere and bring some money come give him. Never did none of that. None of his corruption had anything to do with money or taking something that people and share it with him and his friends. But he was corrupt. How did they classify that corruption? That corruption was classified because of the things he did. And you ever hear the saying that the cover-up is worse than the crime? That was what reached Richard Nixon. The cover-up. Because the crime was spying on his Democratic counterparts, his opponents. So I hired two crooks. I hired two crooks to go break into the Democratic Party headquarters at the Watergate Hotel in Washington. And they went, broke in, turned on the light, some janitor saw the light, called the police, and the rest is history. Now, it took us a very long time, years upon years, to find out what exactly did Richard Nixon send them in here to look for. Because the history was so clouded, that the whole thing was so covered, clouded with the matter of corruption, that the only thing they were talking about is not the break in itself and what they were looking for. Is long after, years after. Lots of books were written about it until Bernstein and Woodruff wrote the book, All the President's Men. We didn't know what exactly they better look for. The excitement, the Congress, the threat of possibly impeachment, all of it was not about the fact that him send some man go break into the Democratic Party headquarters. It was about the cover up, the lies, the cover up, the misleading information, the tapes, of course, but the whole thing was about the vast cover up as to why him send two men to broke into the people them headquarters and to look for what. So that was never discussed at any length until Bernstein and Woodruff wrote that book and expanded on it and told us what it was all about. The more Nixon tried to cover it up, is the worst it got, which is why it reached the Congress and almost became an impeachment until he resigned before the impeachment. The more he spoke about it, the more he tried to cover it up, is the deeper he digged himself in a deep, deep hole. And ladies and gentlemen, there seems to be a repeat performance going on here with Mark Jefferson Golding. And let me say something from the outset. Every British, every Jamaican, and every person that comes from that lives in the Commonwealth have a right, legally, yes, to offer themselves to serve in their country's political system. It is true. It is true. All the MPs them, senators them, anybody who have British passport or was born in Britain, and I don't know what went wrong with Shane Alexis because he was born in Canada and Canada is a part of the Commonwealth, but feel thing well AY because there was nobody to metalize and defend him. I personally felt that him shouldn't go because you have a passport and you have some kind of loyalties. It's not about whether Mark Golding have the right or it's in our constitution and it's legal because he is a British citizen, he has a British passport, and it is legal for him to have that passport and offer himself as a parliamentarian. It is not about that. It's way past that. Because everything that Mark Golding has done, everything since 2007 is illegal. So it's legal for him to have the passport, illegal for him to offer himself, but every single thing that he has done since 2007 is illegal. But I want to take you back, because even in his private life, it is illegal. Because he can't seem to get his story straight about him and Sandra. So that's one. The second thing is that the enormous steps that he has taken to protect his British citizenship. So let me put it out there and start this thing now. Mark Golding was born in the United Kingdom. Now he come out and I do all for confessions. He must confess, and as is the nature of a cover-up and a lie, the confessions come in small doses. One confession come in the hopes of putting a band-aid on the excitement, and then you leave the other confessions until later on. So if you want to leave that one till later on, fine. But not even if Mark Golding could present a Jamaican birth certificate would I, Karen Cecilia, believe that he was born anywhere else other than in Great Britain? So for him to say that he inherited his citizenship through his father, I believe, again, it is a lie. Mark Golding was born in Britain. Mark Golding made a lot of statements over the last couple of years since we start hammering down. And let me just scroll up to my notes and go to some of the statements that he has made. He said that his mother was born in Jamaica. His mother is not born in Jamaica. His mother was born in England, in Scarborough, in England, in 1931. He said that his grandfather was born in Cambridge, St. James, Logan Rhodes Levy, Algoria. He said his grandfather was born in Cambridge, got down to Montego Bay, had this big meeting, made this big statement, and the false bottom girl and the Bart breast girl, they better walk around. Current leader, grandfather was born a stone's throw away. Lie. Lie, lie, lie. His grandfather, Logan Rhodes Levy, was born in Cuba. Now, even though Logan himself said he was born in Havana, Cuba, it is inherent in this Levy, Golden, Rhodes, the whole clique of them, pure lies and misinformation and misleading people about all kinds of things. How could Mark say his grandfather born in Cambridge and his grandfather say him born in Cuba? And his grandfather died because he never born in Havana either. But he listed that. But he was born in Cuba. The grandfather was born in Cifuegos in Cuba, where he was hanging out down there. I don't know how old he might have been when he started hanging out with him Uncle Freddie. Him Uncle Freddie was some kind of, I don't know, doing some little things down in Cifuegos. And according to the records, Logan was there working with his Uncle Freddie. And Uncle Freddie is what? Mark great grandfather, great granduncle. And so Logan was down there, and according to the records in Cifuegos, Cuba, Logan and him great and him granduncle was down there, and him and them until the Great Migration. In the late 1800s to the early 1900s, lots of people going into the United States on various ships. And a ship stopped in Havana to pick up some people who go into the United States. Logan Levy was one such. And he left Cifuegos, traveled to Havana, Cuba, and got on that ship. I was trying to remember the name of the ship. The SS Mexico. Let me be absolutely certain. I think that's what the SS Mexico. And when Logan left Cuba, based on the records, it is said that Logan was born either 1902 or 1903. We put it at 1902 for other reasons because of the age of some other relatives. So we put him at 1902, even though it says 1902, not 1903, because him never sure either him put that on the card when him landed at Ellis Island in New York. So he was about 16, 17 when he left Havana on the ship, Mexico, and went to Ellis Island. He did a lot of things when he was in America, including becoming a doctor. And eventually, he died. And he's buried in California. But Mark said his grandfather not only born in Cambridge, but buried down there. Don't have no evidence of that, but him just say it. Because him trying to pick up some Jamaican heritage. I promise you, we'll get into there. So all the things that he said has been a lie. Right? Has been a great big lie. The story of him and Sandra. Lord, we have expounded that story so much. I don't know what else to tell you regarding that story. But we're looking at another angle of the story. I will soon tell you about it. But let's look at this. When Mark married Sandra, Sandra was very heavily pregnant with their first child. His father sent him to Miami with Sandra to get married, away from the friends, which is why the Tapanaris people them up there so never knew her for a very, 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 very long time. Never knew her because Mark was hiding her. She was heavily pregnant. So pregnant that is 5 days later after the marriage, she gave birth to their first child. And when this fiasco came up, we began to ask some questions. All right, 5 days later, could we assume that they were still in the United States and maybe the child was born there? Could we assume that daddy paid for our next trip for him to go to England, go give birth to the child? Where was Mark Children's born? We don't know. We don't know. Because none of the PNP bigwigs in the party never knows a Mark have a British passport, you know. I will soon talk about that. We have to go through the small details of why this is not about whether it's legal for him to be in the parliament on a British passport or not. This is about the cover-up. This is about his extended effort to make sure we don't know. This is about the steps that he took to ensure that he keeps his British heritage. And if you had any doubt about it, go and listen to his interview this morning on TVJ. When the question was asked of him about renouncing, and he used some other words, but what was coming out of those words were, boy, I don't want to give up my heritage, you know. I'm a British heritage, I'm a father heritage, I don't want to give it up. The reason why, one of the reasons why I am convinced is not only that we can't find a birth record of him accordingly, but one of the reasons are, and I'm not going to mix up him, but I think she's still alive, Mrs. Patricia Golding, Patricia Levy Golding, daughter of the Mr. Levy, the big man that founded Jamaica Broilers, our granddaughter, not so sure, was born in England. She didn't spend much time here in her early younger days. Never spent much time here. She traveled back and forth for various things and various reasons. And we have those reasons, we have those things. We just can't go through them tonight. I want to lay the groundwork for you. It is very unlikely, during those periods, during those times, most British-born people that were living here and doing business never gave birth to their children here. None. Most of the Levy children from that era was born in England. In England. So, that's one reason that I really want to tell you that I could almost say I am absolutely certain that Mark Golding was not born in Jamaica. And it's not just the fact that the Levy women went away and gave birth to all their children in Britain. His father was here for how many years? Working in Jamaica, built a home in Jamaica, doing all kind of things that him claiming credit for in Jamaica, but he never bothered to get a Jamaican passport either. Why would he have a British passport? Mark Golding problem now is not that he might go around and give the argument that he have the right and him legal according to the pedophile. That is not the problem, as I said. The problem is the enormous steps he took to ensure that nobody found out that he has a British passport. That, you risers, is corruption. That there is corruption. That's the corruption that we talk about. The intent, the efforts that he took to hide it. So let us go through the efforts that he took to hide it. Effort number one, he never tell Omar. Omar brought him into the politics. Omar put him on the constituency executive of South St. Andrew in Tony Spalding constituency. Omar never even asked him. He don't make sense to ask him because Omar, the man is not going to ask you them things there. Yeah? Nobody now go ask the big nail them things there. Because for them parents come from Britain too. But it was them born here. And here we are. Omar put him on the constituency executive. And he expressed an interest to continue to serve past the constituency executive. Omar never forced him. He expressed an interest. He helped Omar, did some things, helped find finances for the constituency to do some things. He never told him, never once said to Omar Davis, I'm a British, you know, I'm a British citizen. I was born in Britain and I have a British passport. He grew up, he went to Oxford, went to school, came back and forth, hanging out in Augustown, according to him, a look woman. Time thinks where he at. He never bothered to get a Jamaican passport. He sat on the executive for many years. He became senator in 2007. And he still never bothered to get a Jamaican passport. Then the PNP won in 2011. He got Minister of Justice in 2011. And at that point, he went and got a Jamaican passport for convenience, for the sake of the fact that he's a Minister of Justice and he now will be in the Senate passing laws, putting his signature to laws, which in my mind must have been illegal. But we can't get to that. We can't get to that. He sat there and he had that Jamaican passport. He got a diplomatic passport. He traveled on them. And then, when he had the opportunity, he was 47 years old when he got his first Jamaican passport. 47 years old. Man will walk up and talk about I and I born here. Man, me a Jamaican, you know, where I say, brethren, yeah man, yeah man, where I say, where I say, yeah. I can run the thing, I can run the boy them. But that man, they are idiot. You hear me? Yeah? Come on, my Jamaican. He tried too hard. That was the problem. He tried too damn hard. So people could see through him. Well, we never look, but we could see through him. Him sat on the executive, him never tell them. He became Minister of Justice, him just go get a passport, him never tell Portia. He told no one. He said nothing. He never felt that he had the obligation to share those things because him not feel like him belong here. Him cannot share those things. This is not his country. This is not his thing. This is not his heritage. Him just playing a part. So him not feel like him have any obligation to share these things. That is corruption. And he kept it hidden from every single person except Bunting. Only Bunting knew. And if Bunting could say that he never knew, then he wouldn't come on this morning on TVG, on the phone of all the people in the world to come back him up and make him look good. He chose his closest friend because it's a conspiracy between the two of them to come on to TVG and talk on the phone in defense of him. Me just tell me that she don't understand what him say. Because he was mumble jumbling. I know. And then the police them run him out of them conference because him gonna chat mumble jumbling again. But let's stick to the argument. When the argument came up for him to be leader of the PNP, when that came up for him to be leader of the PNP, listen to me, PNP people. Listen to me, Jamaica. Corruption of the highest level. The man was offering himself to be the leader of the largest political party in the Eastern Caribbean, the most well-known and popular political party in the Eastern Caribbean, in Africa. And he never thought that he owed anybody any obligation to simply say to you, I am a British subject. my first allegiance is to Queen Elizabeth II. Him never thought because him no count way. Him no count uno. Uno important in the scheme of things. Him no own no obligation. Him a protect him British heritage. And him must tell him nothing. Him holding me this morning suggests to me that him still feeling my own obligation. Excuse me, the throat. And there he was this morning on TVJ, telling the country that lots of people call him and tell him don't renounce his citizenship. Want to tell me if this man really righted? Lots of people calling him and telling him not to renounce his British citizenship because him feel like what is in our constitution gives him the right to hold a position in parliament and to become prime minister. Marky G, you couldn't be more wrong up. Because the Jamaican people not going to vote for a man with no dual citizenship. The Jamaican people not going to vote for a man that as his first allegiance is to Britain. So, him have no Jamaican passport. Then him applied for one when he was 47 years old. Had it. Don't know if he was using it. But he had the Jamaican passport. And at that point, he decided that I'm going to go ahead. You want to talk about law, you pedophile? Here's a law for you. The other thing that Mark Golding said, he said a number of things. I'm going to talk about them one. He said that when he was denying that he had a British passport, remember him denied him? He started out by denying it. Said him not have the British passport, he have a Jamaican passport. He kept lying. Lying up and lie. He said don't have a British passport, him have a Jamaican passport. When he was saying all of that, he said he went to the British High Commission and he applied for a British visa to travel on the diaspora tour. I hope them call him in and arrest him, because I believe that the British law would give them grounds to revoke his British passport because he lied on that application form. There is a section on that British visa application form which asks you if you have any allegiance to any other country or whatever, if you ever hold this. So he must have lied on more than one question of his British application form for a visa. Because they would have asked him, why are you applying for a British visa when you are the holder of a legitimate British passport? So he must have lied. So I'm sure the British High Commission will want to talk to him after this done. He must have lied, because I'm going to go, I'm reaching out to the British High Commission. He must have lied on that application form. Them man that take a people visa just to lie and say, nobody ever locked me up yet. People get locked up for a ganja spliff and nobody put it point cause or not, and them take on them visa. Well, he lied. Willfully, knowingly lied on the application form for a UK visa because he had a British passport. He lied. And he got that. A prime minister of this country, you can't be a dual citizen. You can't be a citizen. And the fact that he chose not to apply for a Jamaican passport until he was 47 years old. I want to understand, particularly Uno risers who are out there, things are not try to help him. He don't care about Jamaica. Jamaica is not his land. Jamaica is not his land. I want to know if him children them born here. I could easily say that the first one wasn't born here. Probably born in Miami when they got married, because it's 5 days later she born. Or then probably flew to England to pass on him heritage to them, because his father passed on his to him. In protecting that. And him don't believe you. So him run up and down and behave, and him whole body language and him demeanor and the things him saying. Him don't give a crap about what we think. We try to tell you, this man cannot be trusted. You can't trust him. You can't trust him in Jamaica if you couldn't trust him with a simple thing. as telling the truth. For over 2 years now, I wrote up and down about constitutional reform, and he got the opportunity again to say it. Just say it. Jesus, man, just say it. He got the opportunity when, as leader of the opposition, so after he became leader of the PMP and became leader of the opposition, and him was the one who put back the constitutional reform thing on the agenda, you had an opportunity to say, Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I am putting this forward. I'd like to inform the House of Representatives that I'm a British subject. I own a British passport. I was born in Britain. He had the opportunity to say that, and he never took it. He had the opportunity to say it when he was down by South St. Andrew with Omar. He did not. He never tell Omar. He had the opportunity to sit down with Portia and tell her. He didn't. He did not. He had the opportunity to tell Peter Phillips. Well, he never tell Peter Phillips because Peter Phillips is a man who fight against and beat down and basically run out of the PMP. Him and PJ came closer. PJ Key, him go to a PJ birthday party, a PJ yard, PJ a big lawyer, former prime minister. He had an opportunity to talk to somebody. Tell Smaddy. Say, I, Mark Jefferson, I'm a British citizen. I was born in Britain and I have my British passport. He took the step to go get the Jamaican passport and go apply for a British visa to fool up him very people them will travel with him to the diaspora. Corruption. I don't love talking about corruption. I think corruption is a thieving money. His intent is to deceive and to lie and to mislead. Him no want go to the diaspora with him British passport. Hiding, cover up corruption. Him no want go to the diaspora, him no want go to the airport with Angie. And Lisa was on the tour. And Lisa, Anna, when she came into politics and them announced her as a candidate for Southeast, and the following week she went and gave in her green card. The following week she went and handed in her green card. Nobody ever asked her because she came to serve. She a Jamaican. Him not come here to stay. Yes, on a theme land. This is a theme place. He must make sure him have him British heritage lock up and him not give it up. So when the lady asked him this morning, would you consider renouncing? Him just fell short of saying, no, because I'm a heritage. This is me. Bakramasa. I am the slave owner. All of them are Jamaica. I'm a slave. You can talk to people. You don't listen to him or him responding to this thing. You know, so the whole of them are idiot. Trust me. It's like we don't have no damn sense. Come on, Jamaican people. The man speak to it as if him saying, yeah, but you know, the country's law is broken and I'm a Commonwealth citizen and have the right and then send out the pedophile. Look of all the persons, him send out the pedophile. And then he go up on TVG and of all the persons, him carry Bunting with him. Yeah? Psyche and Trim, Abbott and Costello. Yeah? Dumb and Dumber, Sonny and Cher, him carried him. And then have the pedophile as the backup. I put out video and the paid bottom side chick, I back him up with foolishness. I'm talking about Mr. Vaz. It's private information. Private my ass. There are no private information in this matter. I will bust out every possible piece of information that we get. So him better fess up and stop with it because him still have things to say. Were you born in Jamaica, Mark Jefferson? Because we don't believe you were. No woman. None of the women in the Levy clan gave birth to any child in Jamaica during that year. That entire decade. Why you believe that nobody no go school because you go Oxford? I don't know, no? We want to know. You need to show us if you were born here. Because we don't believe you did. Your daddy didn't pass on your citizenship to Britain by virtue of him being born in Britain. You're born there. And you need to come up and tell us the truth. But you're not going to tell us the truth. Because your entire existence from you came into this politics has been a big lie. So your problems are not that you can serve in this and you can serve in that. When we don't talk to Jamaican people about this, you have to go run and hide. You probably go jump off of the cliff and go kill yourself. You probably have to go have him as suicide watch, you know. Because this is not a 9-day wonder. This is not going away. We knew that it's going to lead up to something like this. We knew. We talk about it day in and day out. You are a wicked, lying, deceptive man, Mark Jefferson Golden. Grown man had ample opportunity to bring forward the truth. Even the last time he spoke about it in the parliament was in 2021 or 2022. There was the tail end of a speech that he gave. 1 minute and was about 21 seconds of the last 1 minute and 27 seconds of that speech, where he spoke about the constitutional reform. You had 100 opportunities to come clean, to be honest with the Jamaican people, and he did not. Instead, he went on an espionage activity, set up people in the diaspora to come tear down Jamaica, attack the Jamaican government, tear down Jamaica, disgrace themselves, and put them country in a bad light on the international stage. And them things them they do, they cover up. I'm not talking about corruption. Don't think corruption that people thieving some money. Yeah? This is the root of corruption. Lie, deception, cover up, misleading information. That is the root of corruption. I can't imagine if I was a member of South St. Andrew, like Sarah or one of them who have been sitting on the constituency executive for the longest of time and have been there for a while. I can't even imagine how I would have behaved had I just found this out. I'd probably lick him down. I mean, not promote no violence, but they're telling me that probably lay away to and lick him with something. Because you can't have people out there. I defend you. Him go for Calabar High School when we are talking about him heritage and talking about him slave owning ancestors them, and him go on. Mr. Born Jamaican, all of those things are false. And my man born here, and the whole of the NEC like damn clapping like slaves. They are clap and I shout him out and ray. Yeah man, my man born here, yeah man born man, yeah man. And me and my wife will meet at turntable, you know, and my brethren near Bongo, we don't want to talk to Bongo. Because you know, I tell the truth, so we're going to link up Bongo. And Bongo, you know, I'm see man, you know, I'm just moving, you know. Cover up. That's a cover to make us believe that you're Jamaican. But you're not. You're not Jamaican. As Prime Minister, the Prime Minister represents Jamaica. And yes, the Prime Minister is also a member of the British Privy Council. It's part of the legacy of the post-colonialism. When Britain left in 1962, I surmise that Norman Manley, in his wisdom, decided that the Privy Council should not be embedded in our constitution, but just left it there as a guidance for us to make decisions. When Norman left, when Norman and Buster Hill put the constitution together, they were thinking that it would not be wise to left the old, just tear on the whole thing one time and move away from it, but some things must be left from which this is the next generation can build on, to finish write that book, to finish paint that canvas, to finish filling in those blanks. So the Privy Council is there, and every Prime Minister is a member of the Privy Council. But also, the Prime Minister is the Minister of Defense. The Prime Minister is the only one that commands our armed forces, particularly our army. You as Prime Minister, commanding our army, just for argument's sake, the Prime Minister of Britain, who will not be Rishi Sunak for very long, but just for argument's sake, something prop up, and we live in a world as volatile, anything can crop up. And we need an army somewhere, and a war broke out somewhere, and Britain have some people there, so and US and some people. Who you take orders from, boss? Who you will listen to? The British Prime Minister or yourself? Who you going to speak on behalf? Because when our Prime Minister goes to a foreign land to represent Jamaica, the items on the agenda are very, very clear. Number one, Jamaica. Number two, Jamaica. Number 3, Jamaica. 4, 5, and 6, Jamaica. You, Prime Minister, go down to Britain, try to argue something for Jamaica, and the British Prime Minister remind you that you're also British. Lean over you, lean over you, and say, yes, remember that, Britain need this. So you should drop that about the Jamaica thing, and your first allegiance is to Britain. Your first allegiance, your only allegiance is to Britain. You don't have nothing Jamaican. Mark Golding has absolutely nothing Jamaican. He has no obligation to Jamaica. You have no obligation. He has no obligation to Jamaica. He no owe Jamaica nothing. He has never contributed anything to Jamaica. He no have no philanthropic history. He no have no charity history. He no have no history of helping people or doing anything. At least him daddy have the center, which is him alone bill. But Mark Golding himself has nothing. Nothing here that can tie him to Jamaica. Everything for him is tied to Britain. And I'm a lover of the British monarchy. I love the royal family. Yeah, I do love the royal family. I love King Charles. I've loved King Charles from the first time I met him at Strawberry Hill. Quite by accident. He was there drinking something, and I went to breakfast with a friend, and we went over and said hello to the prince. So, I love the royal family. I loved Queen Elizabeth II. And I do love William and Catherine. But I know something, one thing I know for a fact. I'm not taking order from them. I love them. I'm not taking order from them. I want my Prime Minister to be able to make decisions for my grandson and for my great-grandchildren coming along. I want my Prime Minister to be able to make decisions for them that don't have anything to do with whether we care about Britain. Yes or no? Because the truth doesn't matter, I really don't care about Britain. I care about the royal family. Whatever you might make of that. Mark Golding set out to deceive. He's corrupt. He's the most corrupt politician in this country as of today. He is the most corrupt politician ever exist in Jamaica. Ever. Think about it, South St. Andrew. Who ran him down so long? He must talk about constitutional reform, and he must call a close constituency executive meeting to say it to you. Remember British passport? No! Him hide it from him members of parliament. The people him and them go to England, they go through the diaspora, and him run go get a British visa in a Jamaican passport. For say, man, yeah man, we're there, we're there, we're there on the side, yeah, look like a damn handicap. But that's what he did. That's a cover-up. That's corruption. South St. Andrew. You must hold him to account for that. What are you going to do? Love him up? Mark G? Future Prime Minister? Next Prime Minister? Yeah, we love Mark. Huh? We're not going to make a choice at some point. We all have to. What shall it be? Is it going to be Jamaica? Or is it going to be Mark Golding? Is it going to be Jamaica or is it going to be Britain? The Prime Minister of our country is also the Minister of Defense. Think about that. The Prime Minister is the only one that commands the army. Yeah, I'm an army chief of staff, but the man and have no people that are, well, it's a woman now. She not a power unless the Prime Minister issue those statements. In the United States, the President is the Commander-in-Chief. Him alone can send the armed forces into arms with permission from the Congress, and sometimes without permission from the Congress too. And you want a Prime Minister who is beholden by law, because they might, I don't know what they're going to do to him when I don't complain. I don't know what they're going to do to him when I don't write, because he lied on his application form and he went on about his business. Who are we going to be negotiating with? We send the Prime Minister of Britain go negotiate or renegotiate some contracts that we have down there with them. Huh? Who the Prime Minister represents when he go down to Britain? Who representing? Jamaica or Britain? Because this current man, the leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, is beholden first and foremost to Britain. And then, if you haven't gotten disgusted by his actions and the things he has said and the things he has done, how about this? How about this? Him is the loudest voice about the constitutional reform. The loudest voice is him. And he never rate you enough to say to you, he got an opportunity at the Ville Royal meeting where them look like Caliban hostage and the picture of them take. Them couldn't find a different look at it. At the Ville Royal meeting with him, the pedophile, Angela Brownberg, Donna Scott, and the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security. Now I think, quite frankly, that would have been an ideal meeting to say to that room, to say to the Prime Minister, I have a problem. To say to the Prime Minister in the presence of your Donna Scott, who is a legal luminary, who him tell not to go apply for King's Council because it going to look bad. I mean they run the PMP like a guinea gog. Because I'm sure the person that they're referring to, that he told not to apply to be a King's Counsel, must have been Donna Scott. Him deprived the woman of a professional up mobility. Him deny her that. Say she mustn't go apply for the King's Counsel because it going to look bad. And him don't think it look bad that him have a British passport. Him don't think it look bad that him lied to Jamaican people for years. Him don't think that it look bad. Every year of his life, every 10 years, he renews his British passport. That sounds like a man that having a commitment to Jamaica to Uno. Seriously. That sounds like a man that having a commitment. And if during those times he had a Jamaican passport to back it up, well, we'll have a different conversation tonight. But it's clear, very clear, that he had no intention of owning a Jamaican passport. And it was forced upon him when Portia gave him that Minister of Justice portfolio. And he never took the opportunity to tell Mama Peace him have a British passport. He never take the opportunity to sit her down and explain it to her. Make sure fix it for him. And you don't want to keep him. Me done with that part there. Because you can't save him. No, you can't save him. Whatever momentum he thought he had coming out of the local government elections and done on this fake poll, whatever was going on with him, because he was going around the place just looking like a madman all the time, saying things looking jumpy and scared. I now realize that he was scared. He was scared shitless. Some of the things he was saying is not just that. He might lose his mind, he might lose his memory. I was saying to the group earlier, he was running scared that the whole constitutional thing was up and about because he never expected that the JLP was going to take it on. He never expected them to take it on with the seriousness that they did. He expected them to dismiss him, to give him an opportunity to talk more about it. So when they took it up and actually started to have the conversation and actually start to engage him, he got scared. When he was pushing, like, you know, when they were at school and players say, Sefe, no? Just Sefe, touch me one time. You want to touch me? Touch me one more time. Touch me, touch a button one more time. That's what he was playing, Sefe. And Mr. Oldest called his bluff. And they had the meet at Ville Royal. And the committee get set up. And he make one big excitement. He not name the committee members until so and so. And not naming anybody until so and so. And then Mr. Holdest named the committee. And him have to name some committee members. He was running scared. Like a caged animal. And the scarier he got is the more the cover up deepen. Because that's the nature of a cover up. That's the nature of when you lie and deceive. It's corruption. It's your intent. And his intent was to lie and deceive and mislead. And yeah, the laws in our constitution, the constitution is silent on the matter. The Constitution is silent on whether a Prime Minister should hold dual citizen. Yes or no? The Constitution is silent on it. And where there is silence on the Constitution, they usually go a particular way. But I'd like to say to those members of Parliament, all 63 of you, that we don't have to wait for a constitutional reform to change this. We don't need a constitutional reform to change this. We need to go to Parliament, somebody put forward a bill that the Prime Minister of the country must not have any other allegiance to any other country. The Prime Minister of a country must not have a dual citizenship anywhere, not even in the Commonwealth. You can do that. That have a wait for constitutional reform. You can go in there and just do that next week, Tuesday. Friday, somebody can come together and the Senate start write a bill and put that in the law. Because even if he renounces his citizenship, the Jamaican people not going to believe him, not going to vote for him, because he has already proven to them that he can't be trusted. He is a liar, he is a cover-up artist, he is misleading, he is deceptive. It sound like a scratch record. Because you don't study, want to study, let me tell you what you study. You study what people say and how you feel, how you make these judgments based on how you feel about somebody. You're not looking beyond their words. You're not studying their body language. You're not paying attention to these people. And for the last 3 years, we tried. God knows we tried to tell you, all of you who would listen, that this man can't be trusted. Everything he does, everything he says, the way he says it, the way he mash up the Jamaican language is great attempt at talking Jamaican. Everything about it was just wrong. Nothing was right about it. Nothing was ever right about it. When people have go on Market Street, go to party leader, do your thing, party leader. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with all of you? And the PNP MPs backing him up. The man never see fit to have a discussion with you. I just 14 now, It's just a 14 now, not 30 now plus him. And he never saw fit to sit down with any of you. The lawyers there at least. Him hound Norman Horn out of the Senate with a threat of a lawsuit. He told Norman Horn he was going to sue him to get him out of the Senate so that he can put in Peter Bunting for the same matter. Norman Horn is a dual citizen. And he told Norman Horn, we're going to take you to court because FEM's solution to every problem is court. And that is basically a man without ideas, or a man without conviction, or a man who can't convince people are doing the right thing because he don't know how to do the right thing. So it's always a court for him. We're not studying this man. Him don't know how to do the right thing, so the court is always is recourse. Him not trying nothing yet, Him going to sue the government for X, Y, square, Z. Why? Him can't argue with the government. Him can't present no argument to the people that will make the government look bad. Him can't do it. So him going to sue the government. Him want to keep him dual citizenship and be prime minister. So him go down to the diaspora and gather some people and say to them, go demonstrate, go protest. Go to the Jamaican consulate on foreign soil and diss up Jamaica. Bust up liberty by Jamaica. Huh? I'm coming in. I'm coming. I'm coming to Parliament. I am on my way. I'm coming. Because all them people that would demonstrate against this country, all of them have a Jamaican passport. I'm coming, man. And they need to be punished. Because if we make these things slide, others will feel like them can do it. You can't make these things slide, parliamentarians. What is wrong? Everybody just did it for yourself. Just to represent Uno, when a few look at people them, make no money, buy a car, big on a house. What? What about Jamaica? Some of us not know where else to go, you know. What about Jamaica? No thought about Jamaica? Don't I make this man get up with these things? Organize groups of people to go down to Jamaican consulate, not to present an argument on behalf of the diaspora, you know. Not to drop off a letter and say a few words about what their letter is about, you know. Not to say the Prime Minister was down in Delaware, just a few miles away. And they never said, all right, we heard the Prime Minister is going to be in Delaware. Let's go down there. Let's go present a letter to him and get an opportunity, 10 of us, to talk to him. And say to him, Mr. Prime Minister, we don't like how things are going in this department and that department. I would like to have a sit down with you. We have some ideas. No, it wasn't about that. It was about them helping Mark Golding to cover up his intent. They were a very big part of the cover up. Them just never knew it. They thought that this was about them getting work in Jamaica and them getting to be senator in Jamaica and sit on boards in Jamaica. No, gentlemen. No. And Mrs. Huntington. No. This was about Uno helping Mark Golding to cover up his lies and his deception. This was about Uno covering up. But he never tell you. He never tell you. He never feel like he need to tell you. Only important in the scheme of things, except for that. He has no regard for Jamaica. No regard. This man don't love this country. Don't love this country. 47 years old before him got the first passport, and he was forced to get the passport. Had he not needed it as a Minister of Justice, he wouldn't go get it. And then when he had to renew it, he renewed it because he don't want him colleagues them to say it's a British passport him have. Corruption, cover up, corruption, hiding it. Me nah go at the airport with my British passport. I want to go to the airport with my Jamaican passport, with my UK visa in it. Because imagine him probably in the airport or in the plane. I tell them, oh, I yesterday I'm getting visa. I never have no visa, and I'm going to apply for it. And him get it. Because imagine him, they're trying to be showing off and say, I that me do. But the British High Commission will want to talk to him. Be him opposition leader or not, them going to want to talk to him. Because the people that run the joke. I'm going to write, I'm let them make a long letter to them. So, Jamaican people, Mark Golding was not born in Jamaica. Mark Golding was born in England. His grandfather, his grandmother's great-grandmother's great-grandfather, him daddy, everybody born in England. The story of him and Sandra now, that is to be continued. Him first child, we don't know where the first child was born because him got married in Florida. Him daddy sent him off to Miami, got married to Sandra because Sandra was very, very pregnant at that time. Very pregnant. So much so that she gave birth 5 days after the marriage. So she was very, very pregnant, you know. He applied for a British visa in a Jamaican passport to hide the fact that he is a British citizen. I'm not talking about corruption. Vote on Mr. Wallace because Mr. Wallace is corrupt. Here is corruption. Hiding things from the people. Denying the people the entire truth of his existence for the people to make an informed decision about them. And that is what he did. I am going to take some of your comments and see if, because I promised that I would, staying with me. Before I go to some of your comments, I want to say that I can't imagine how the PNP MPs and the PNP people them feel tonight about Mark Golding's effort to cover up his immigration status. That's the only way to put it, his immigration status. He is a British man who have had a British passport since he born, never had a Jamaican passport until he was 47 years old, never renewed it until he was going to the diaspora the other day with some people, and he felt that he needed to include it in his to get it go. So let me say, I am here. I'm here. The light no get sabotaged. The light went. The light went. The British and Jamaican passport. Mark Golding don't love Jamaica, my girl. If Mark Golding loved Jamaica, Mark Golding would have either from 2020, let's put it from 2020, let's say that in everything that he was doing, he was edging his bets. Because when he became Minister of Justice under Portia, he probably thought that, I'm not give up him citizenship for this. It's not worth it. Him not give up him citizenship for that. And he didn't. Then just go get a Jamaican passport and add it to him British passport. That is not love of Jamaica. Mark Golding has nothing here. He has no intention to stay here. This is not his heritage. This is not his. What is his is Britain. And that is what he's loyal to. That is where his loyalties lie. So let me take him collecting $235 million from taxpayers under false pretense. I don't know what that means. Is that his salary? Is that his salary? Huh? Is that his salary? 1 foot in and 1 foot out, I hear you. His passport expires in 2024. It means that he renewed it in 2014. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He renewed it. He renewed his British passport every time. Every 10 years he renewed it. He never had no reason not to. I mean, this is his heritage. And he wasn't going to do anything to help Jamaica. Jamaica is not his priority, which is why the Jamaican people will not vote for him. The Jamaican people will not vote for Mark Golding. Only can take that to the bank. They will not vote for him. Even if he renounces that citizenship, they will not vote for him. Because he has lied and deceived the Jamaican people. And he had ample opportunity to tell them the truth. To bring this matter forward into their psyche. To say to them, I am sorry I never tell you from last year. Or I'm sorry I never tell you before. But I never thought that in my lifetime I would have been leader of the opposition. But now that I'm the leader of the opposition, I believe it's my duty and responsibility to inform you that I am a British citizen. And I have a British passport, which I intend to not renew and denounce and move forward because I want to be Prime Minister of this country. No. He must run up and down the country saying that the people want him into Jamaica House. He must run up and talk about me, Mark Jefferson, Prime Minister of Jamaica. You know? Me go run things and get my top and his friend them come run things with me. You know? Can't take on the feed them. Take the whole out of the feed them. Especially those who supporting him. I can't imagine how the PMP feeling internally right now. I can't even imagine, but knowing them for the last 3 years, these are not the same people that we used to know. These are a different brand of people who have succumbed under the spell of the devil. They have succumbed under the spell of Mark Golding and Peter Bunting and their money and the power that it allows them to have. So it not gonna shape them. Them not gonna stay with them there. Because Mark Golding, when he made a statement that he has a destiny to fulfill, it wasn't about being Prime Minister. Him just never know that it wasn't that him talking about. I'm telling you. Him not studying this man. Him never know that when him say him have a destiny to fulfill. It had nothing to do with him being Prime Minister. It had to do with him being a British born man with a British passport becoming Prime Minister of the slaves. That's what it has to do. Tim go down and Daddy grave and say, yeah, and we control the thing now, you know. Yeah, man, and we have the thing now. Yeah, hear me, Daddy G. And we have the thing now. Back to basics. We are the slaves. Him are the slave master. Him don't think him own anything. Him don't own anything. Because him is a slave master. And that is how he has been behaving ever since this thing break. He has been behaving that way, still walking up and down, chatting up his mouth. Nobody can move him. He might do this, he might do that. And every opportunity he gets is because the JLP saw the poll. I don't get that foolishness from, but that is in talking point. And because they might get mad since the local government election, the man might lose their mind. I suppose that them tell him to say those things. But he don't care about Jamaica. And we should not I had cut down on the lives. I was doing mostly videos. And I will do 1 or 2 more lives. But I find the videos more easy to do. And we get to talk about it. We'll soon start our series where we get to talk about every rice candidate that Mark Golding have installed. Some of whom have dual citizenship as well, but have far more serious problems than dual citizenship as some of them. I will soon talk to you about them, each one of them, and to take you back to what they did to bring down the People's National Party. This man with a British passport fight against Peter Phillips, tear down the party, betray the party, betray the country to take control of the government, of the party. And him had a British citizenship and a British passport, and he never tell nobody while he was doing that. I'm going to reiterate, I'm going to re-say some things for you. The Jamaican voters, the PNP base is well solid. He has not been able to even move the PNP base. The PNP base did not show up in the local government elections. I don't think they're going to show up by the time we finish again. And then we're not going to get that overwhelming support. That so we ever done on this to get that 7.3%. Now better ask back for no money. Because we could give it till Jesus come. Jamaican people not going to need a prime minister with dual citizenship. The Jamaican people not going to vote for somebody who has allegiance to another country other than Jamaica, who is not all in 100% for Jamaica, for Jamaicans. Mark Golding has never been for Jamaica, never been for Jamaicans. There is nothing in his entire history that we can point to and say, see here, this is what Mark Golding did, we should make him prime minister. He did nothing. He did nothing because he never felt he had to do anything, because he's a British man with a British passport, born in Britain. All his parents come from Britain, his grandparents come from Britain, everybody born in Britain. I never felt that he had to tell him anything, because he don't owe any obligations. And we are in the cribs, he is a slave master, and we are the slaves. And him going to take control of us again, and God knows what will happen. And we always laugh and scuttlebug everything that we say, but it's true. Is there anything else that you guys want to say? No, Chris, you didn't swear an oath to be a British citizen. Born in Britain, and him have a British passport. And under normal circumstances, any member of the Commonwealth could sit in the Parliament. I mean, I don't quarrel with that. A member of the Commonwealth can sit in the Parliament. Can't have the member of the Commonwealth with a passport from another country to rule the country. No. No. Nah. That can't happen. Nah. Not Mark Golding. You can't have him rule the country. Get one of what? What are you talking about? All right, is that it, ladies and gentlemen? Friends, thank you for joining me. I hope I help you understand the situation a little better. I said at the beginning of the live, and I want to repeat it again, that the kids are doing CXC, you know, and I had a revelation this morning. Those of you who have children doing CXC, let me ask all of you in the first place to, send up a prayer for all of them doing the CXC. But those of you who have children, grandchildren doing CXC, pay attention to them. Pay attention, because some mornings, some of the exam mornings, they might not be themselves. And they might need you to do something else, to a hug and a squeeze and to a whisper in them ears to say you're going to do okay. And why I tell you that is this. When them going to do the exam and them start doing strange things, you need to be paying attention, because my grandson doing strange things. So I know he was worried. I know he was worried this morning because man get up and sweep the yard. Now that is a strange thing. And when I went into the kitchen, the man made the tea and the man emptied the rest of the hot water in the sink. Those are strange things. So I felt I needed to give him an extra hug and to encourage him and to tell him that everything is going to be okay. It means that they're under a little bit of a pressure. So we need to pay attention to it. All right. Them say that there's some weather coming this way. I encourage you all to stay safe. Those of you in low-lying areas, take precautions as you see fit, and keep your family safe and sound. All right. So I think that's basically it. Thank you very much for joining me. God bless you all. Stay safe, all of you, and keep my children safe. Now, I haven't done this for a long time, so I don't even know how this thing ends, but I will figure it out. Thank you. God bless you. Stay safe. Keep the kids safe.